Everyone, welcome to the Monster Truck Outlaws of Less podcast. I am joined with Phil Vichinanza. He's going to be with us in just a few moments, but here we are, episode number 19, ready to rock and roll with another great episode coming right at you. Phil, are you with me?
I'm somewhere. Just go on without me.
All right. Well, it looks like Phil's having some difficulties, but we have a very special guest tonight. He's known for his wild persona in the monster truck industry. One of the most entertaining guys in the business, I'd say personally. Love watching him whenever he's on the track or whenever he does an interview. It's always interesting when this guy's at a show. And that guy is Charles Benz.
This is Charles Benz, and this is his monster truck Pitbull.
Charles, welcome aboard. How are you doing tonight?
Wow, what a buzz, dude. That video is incredible. You guys have woken up a lot of old feelings, gotten me a lot of grief from my work and people who know me now in the world I live in. And I love it. I'm thankful for every second of it. Thank you for putting it together. What an honor to be here. It's great to see you guys.
No problem. Our honor having you on the show. But, what is Charles Benz doing right now?
I'm blessed with doing the same thing I've been doing for a long time. I've been in real estate for many, many years. It's tough times, but it's a steady job. It's probably the only one I can keep. I'm part of a great team that allows me to be with them. I don't know why. I don't know how they put up with me, but we get by every week and we work hard here in Albuquerque.
So, let's get started with the nitty gritty. How did you get started with motorsports and how did that lead to you, getting in a monster truck?
Man, I just don't listen very well to people who give me good advice would be my first answer to that. I started with tough trucks. I went to this ridiculous arena truck race in the early 2000s and had a buddy of mine who worked at a good shop here building cool trucks, street stuff, and was really fascinated with it and into the technology that went behind it. He invited me to go to a tough truck race where he raced a truck that he literally had $150 in. And it's crazy because these guys always win everything. And I know you tough truckers who know me out there know this. It's the dude who shows up with the total beast that they had to jump start with 2 batteries on top of each other that dominates. And everybody who works hard just sits there and scratches their head. That was him. And he ran that truck into the ground and he won. And I was like, man, if that guy can do that, I need to get out here. That looks like fun. And that's where our Bronco came from. And that's where it all started for me is I had some pretty cool real estate clients I was able to lean on here in town. And we put together with the friends and family and help, we got a cool little Bronco that I raced around arena stuff, tough trucks. And it got to be such a great truck. People didn't want to race us. And I was in Amarillo by morning. I was in Amarillo at the event center, the Budweiser Event Center with Dan Runte, Kurt Dabney, and those memories that I had with those guys were amazing. And Runte grabs me and he's all, dude, you need to get you some of this. You need to race monster trucks. And he suggested I talk to Foot about getting a job there. And I was like, no, I want to do it my way. And I should have just called and begged Mr. Chandler for the opportunity. Instead, we went down this whole road with Pitbull and everything else that it led to. But it's an adventure I would never, ever trade for anything. I've loved it. So to answer that question in a long-winded way, it started for us in tough truck, arena truck racing. We did well. I met some of the big guys. I got to see it and be kind of behind the scenes at the show. You guys know how it works when you're when you get a bracelet and you get to race. And I caught it and was addicted. Some people have their vices and pray for them and hope everything's good. I certainly have my vices too, and they've had wheels on them and they've cost me a fortune and hurt me bad.
Before you got the Pitbull truck, it was known as Rambo. So when getting that truck, what was that like? And, how did you come up with the name Pitbull?
Well, Pitbull was definitely the name I would be under. I've loved pit bulls my whole life. I'm definitely a punish the deed, not the breed type guy. It's terrible that people have demonized the brand and the name and the dog itself. There's the Bronco. Yes. People pick on pit bulls. I've always loved them. I've always been a big fan, and I've had very smart, intelligent ones that have been the best dogs I've ever had. That was the actual design for our team logo, was one of my pits that I've had along the way. And I don't know that some people, and I don't know who they are, and I doubt we'll find any of them. Some people say I'm a little energetic and I fight hard for things. I've never heard that said before, but anyway. Some people say when I got on stuff like a deal or a problem for a client, I was like a pit bull, and that's it. That just, the name stuck. And when we built the tough truck, it was a natural, and nobody had used that yet. Nobody had the rights for anything, and then it was brand new. And I was really lucky to get into it. And a few years later, when the monster opportunity came, by then we had semis and DOT and trucks, and it was just a name that we had. It was great, and it works. I love pit bulls. I love anybody who owns pit bulls, who believes in them and gives them a chance. That's cool.
Definitely think it was a perfect fit for you. But, getting started with monster trucks, what were some of the challenges you faced along the way?
Let's start with the chassis. I loved Rambo. Rambo was a great truck. Mike Nitsky, I hope he's watching tonight. Man, I love you, bro. You're a great dude. A lot of those guys that rest his soul, Mr. Weaver had worked with and known, are great people. I met Mr. Vaughters through them. Mike Vaughters, I think you're a class act also, and I think your son is amazing. It's awesome to watch. I love it. Met a lot of cool people. First thing I learned is it was past its time. It needed a lot of work, a lot of changes, and I had a real brutal face-first introduction to the industry, repairs, technology updates, and I learned that the equipment I had wasn't ready for what it needed to be, especially with my crazy rear end driving it. Met some great people who took me in and said, hey, dummy, no, do it this way, change it to this, improve that, and change this, make this safer. That's my favorite word, make it safer. Faster and safer, you got me. And literally it became almost an instant evolution that was long departed from Rambo within a few months of it being in our stable.
Hey, so when you decided to get into the monster truck business, we know you acquired the Rambo truck. Was there any other trucks that you had your eye on? Why'd you choose Rambo to start?
I looked at a couple, and I got with Rambo a lot because of just the meeting Mr. Weaver, talking with him, Mike Nitsky. Wow. I'll say this, it's embarrassing, but I'm never going to be anything but real. The first week I had my very first show with the truck, Mike had told me, he goes, no matter what, I'll help you. You call me, whatever you need. And I called Mike, and I was like, dude, I'm in the restroom and I'm not doing good. And Mike gave me some advice, and it was everything that Mike had promised: the help, the support. No, do this, shift here. When you feel the van, do this. And it got me through, and it helped me establish the initial confidence I needed to learn my equipment and know its limits and my own limits. Hey, dummy, don't do that.
We have a comment from Marcus Kofelt, a question. He wants to know if you own anything from the old Pitbull truck.
I not only have my Pitbull original body and package and decals. I blame my mom for this. I'm a sentimental nut, and anybody who's been to the Team Pitbull shop in Albuquerque, the dozens of Monster Jam trucks and other friends and competitors, Bigfoot, everybody who's been through knows that that when you break, and Brandon Lagarde, I got half your shop busted up in mine. When a truck breaks, I would have all the guys sign a piece and leave it with me. And I do have some pit bull treasures, some Rottweiler treasures that I don't think I could ever part with because of the way my mom made me. But one of my most treasured pieces in that collection is this is mind blowing. It's a Blue Thunder body, and this is Tony Farrell Blue Thunder right here. I tell you what, this is Tony Farrell Blue Thunder. This ain't anybody else Blue Thunder. It's Tony. Look out.
Oh yeah.
So that truck, ironically, not only did we fix it for several years in my shop, and I love Mike Wine, Bucky, if you're out there, Paulie, all those guys, anybody who's been through Pitbull and Albuquerque, anybody. And this is hard, it's everybody who's been through, and you know who you are. We loved every one of you guys. We were so grateful to know you, and thanks for teaching us everything you taught us. Thanks for all the memories. And that body, the Blue Thunder body, ended up being the first truck I ever drove that belonged to Monster Jam. And it was Tony's truck. It was in the Tacoma Dome. And I'll never forget it. I went up there just to help out. I spent my entire weekend watching Neil destroy Max D over and over and just blowing that show away. And I finally got my chance to get in the game on the last day. And I remember my first hit in that truck because Pitbull was great. I love my truck. Don't get me wrong. We did everything we could with that technology and then some and then pushed it. That being said, the first time I got to get me a piece in a real company truck, I became a different person. And again, everybody has had their addictions, their whatever they thirst for more of. For me, it was feeling those Richard Midget motors and those chassis and those Garcia shock setups, man. Just I had to get more of that. And I was blessed to be able to get the opportunity I got there in Europe with Turtle. Hey, I didn't mind it was a Turtle. Dude, I had a blast. I love Europe. All you guys that got up early over there, thank you. I wish I had more time to get out some of the pictures of my adventures in Europe, but maybe not. I just met so many people. That was the biggest thing of me is doing what I did to the level I wanted to do it. But my job was really just to go make friends. And I didn't do fan lines, autograph lines. That wasn't my thing. And I know everybody from Monster Jam, track directors, show promoters, directors, event managers. I'm sorry. I know everybody was mad at me. I know my lines took forever, but I gave a hoot and I cared about them and I wanted to talk to everybody. And I listened to their stories and I genuinely believed and cared. And I know other drivers did that as well. And I know there's a lot of people that are very passionate about this sport. I just at my own little level really wanted that one-on-one connection with those people. And so many of them are still here and stuck it out with me. It blows my mind. I get these messages that still to this day, years later, I'm so grateful, humbled, and thankful for. And it means a lot to me, guys. Everybody who's looking or sees this later, I ain't forgot any of you guys, and I never will. And I'm the people who help me, the sponsors, the crew people, the lists are too long to even name. Please just know that I'm grateful and I'm humbled and I'm thankful for everybody who believed in my silliness and we had a purpose.
Definitely all about the fans. Now I got to ask the question. Do you remember your first show and what was it like competing for the first time in front of the jam-packed crowd?
Man, it was awesome. I never forget it as long as I live. I hope Cassie, Jim, and Barb are watching. Cassie was my very first monster truck fan. I'll never forget her. She's a beautiful young lady now getting married, having a family. She makes me feel old, actually. Many things do. A lot of you guys make me feel old. Thanks. Grand Junction, Colorado. Danny Torgeson. I'd done a ton of tough trucks for them, and he knew these promoters up there named Rick and Peggy Catlin, and I love you guys. I hope that somebody who knows them and knows that Grand Junction show they put on shows them this and lets them hear this, man. You guys, you took a chance on a silly dude, and I went up there, and that show was the real deal. The very first show of my life. This is the one I'm in the bathroom calling Mike, help, I don't know what to do. I go out, it's wheelie contest. Larry Kazala Kevin Kazala. I'm sorry, Larry Quick, Kevin Kazala, Don King. I'm trying to run down this roster in my head. Kevin Kazala goes out for first wheelies. Whoop-ah! Rolls it right over in front of me. They're all, go ahead and Don King runs over to my truck. Don't do that. I was so nervous. And I went up and just laid that sucker out and set it on the tailgate. And by the end of the weekend, I was sweeping events. And I just didn't care right away. And I learned to push it and had so much fun finding the limits. But that Grand Junction show and those people up there, we stayed out with them till 2:30 or 3 in the morning. Everything that the Monster Jam people would want to kill me for, the promoters there were just like, heck, you guys do whatever. And I know that's not the best way to do it. And I know that's not the way it is in the big time. But I was so connected to that show, those people in northern Colorado and eastern Utah. So many people came out to that. I love that show.
And I'll tell you, Charles, we have a lot of people in the comments that ran with you or have some sort of connection with you. One of them is one of our past podcast guests, Gary Schott. Says, hey, Charles, still got people trying to buy my property in New Mexico. I have a real job now, and it's been a nice break, but I do miss the show sometimes. How about you?
I've tried to maintain a real job during the entire time I did the trucks, which is how we were able to give away the money. I still had my regular job, so I'm doing what I've done for years, and I love real estate, and Gary's right. He's smart to have real estate. It's a tough business, but if you can hang in there, it can have, it's up and down just like everything else, but it's always been my real job. I did it from the semi. I had the condo cab Freightliner, and I would sit up there in my freight shaker with my office at TA's or anywhere else trying to just like all these other hardworking independents do. Many independents, man, people don't realize I'm one of my very best friends. And this is, if you'll indulge me, this is a quick story. One of my very best friends in the whole world, Gerald Torres, who drove one of my trucks with me. Gerald was in the Army for over 30 years. And there's two people in the Army, if you're in there. There's the enlisted men and the officers, and they are definitely not buddy-buddy. And the thing that my buddy had done is he had served as an enlisted man for 19 years of his career before he became an officer. And the officers respected and loved him because of his experience, and the enlisted men respected and loved him because of he was one of them. He had been there. And that was what I had tried to take from being an independent. I have an understanding of what it's like to pay for this stuff out of your own pocket. I wasn't a silver spoon here, step into a truck and trash it with no experience opportunist. I had to pay for my mistakes, learn my lessons the hard way, put yourself through the most expensive driving school in the world. Oops, lesson learned, you're broke. I have so much respect for independents who still do this in this industry. It's immeasurable. Every odd and deck were stacked against us. And there are those, and the person who told me this knows it, and I wish I could front you. I couldn't get a hold of you today. When I very first started, somebody said people in this industry are aspire to be at different levels, and they're willing to work hard and sacrifice more to obtain those levels. And some people want to go out there, drive around, wave, and drive away. And I said that very first summer, I'm going to be one of the people who want more and fight for more. And I was very fortunate to get it. I'm very thankful. I have nothing but great fond memories that I think the only thing other than an injury got me to stop, other than it could have.
We touched the surface on this earlier, but you mentioned Europe. This might spark some cool stories. What was it like competing overseas?
Man, Europe was one of the best adventures I've ever had in my life. Every year I got to go was insane. The fans got crazier. One of the nuttiest adventures I have, and it was a memory that came up on my thread today, or this week actually, was I was in Poland, in Wrocław, Poland. And by the way, Poland is some beautiful country. And Europe is just an amazing place. But in Poland, we got to run around, we got to act crazy, and they had this brand new stadium. And at the time, they were bringing American-style football into Poland. And man, it's just like that fighting mentality I had every time I was going to drive. And again, sorry, Monster Jam people. I know this made a lot of people crazy. I just try to take myself mentally someplace else and to like this level of, let's do this and whatever you want to call it. He's on the juice, Hannibal. I don't know. Whatever it is, I would level up. And we're sitting there in the tunnel in Poland and things are getting ready to kick off. And this 52-man gigantic football professional team comes up the tunnel behind us. And we had been talking to a couple of them in the food room, and I didn't even realize who they were. We were just kind of messing around. And they came out for the intros for the thing at the stadium, and they had watched me do my event, and I was messing with them, and they were going to play a little during the half. So when they were getting pumped up to go out there, they started bouncing around, and I jumped into the defensive side and started slamming on people. And we were headbutting each other, and one of them hit me with the front of his helmet guard. And this big old cut before freestyle. It was awesome. You're like, what happened? I was like, nothing.
That is for sure crazy. But I have to ask this. You were one of the most unique personalities in the monster truck industry. You always stood out from the rest of the drivers. There's like 16 trucks that go through the tunnel, but you were the guy that stood out. And what was your mission in the monster truck industry? What did you want to accomplish?
I don't want to name names, but I will say this, and people who know, this could be anybody, people who know exactly who it is. Big Bill gave me a truck, and I'm thankful for that, man. I appreciate you so much, Big Bill. I'll never forget that moment with you and Mike. Man, never forget it. That very first weekend, Bill told me, he goes, hey, Charles, he goes, find a way to make this your own. He goes, what you want to do is you don't want to be everybody else. Find a way to do it and make it your own. And for me, I was just like, I was sitting there in the very first weekend and I was all, I am going to make this dog bark. And I went out before freestyle and I learned for some good drivers. You never know when you're going to break it. So at least get around once so everybody can take a picture and say hi. And I went around and I started barking my throttle. Just it's so stupid. And then when I got out of the truck, I really laid down a freestyle. I mean, I had the equipment finally. I had the crew. Man, Fry Daddy, Paulie, I love you guys so much, dude. I could drive that truck, and winning was something that I hadn't ever experienced at those levels. So to get out, man, especially like when you come from tiny little crowds where you fight in front of a couple hundred people, and you get in front of tens of thousands of people that are going crazy, and you're doing this, it's a lot different. And I was always kind of jacked up to that next level because of that. And I started barking back at the crowd that night. And then I just remember everywhere I would go, more and more people just started barking at me. And then the throttle thing and the barking at the crowd thing, for me, was my way of listening to Big Bill and making it mine. I wasn't just a mutt. This was the Rottweiler. This was the mean one. This isn't the friendly dog. This isn't of course, with the kids, but I'm not here to be the happy, friendly guy around the track. And man, I'm sorry to everybody else too. I came there to run hard and to do well. And I know not everybody liked that all the time, but I can sit right here. I can look at everybody and say, man, I fought hard. I came there to do it. And I was always consistent. And I was never a fake. I'm big with that.
Talked about it a little bit, but what was it like representing a brand name truck like Monster Mutt Rottweiler? I'm sure your pit party lines were pretty long.
Thrill of a lifetime. And those amazing people that had been with me with Pitbull understood it. It was the natural transition. I kept the dog persona. It just worked for me. And it was the thrill of a lifetime. Every little kid who's sitting up there in those stands today that still wants to do it. I was you. I wanted to do it. I'm living proof that if you work hard, willing to sacrifice and fight for it, you can make it and you can do anything, as I'm sure so many of these amazing young new drivers are. a lot of these people really impress me, and I see it's going on. It's awesome to still watch and do it and see what's happening. Of course, it's not going to die. I wish this silliness going on with the virus and everything would go away so the family could get back together and make more memories. I still like watching them.
And you made a lot of memories out there on the road. Let's go back in time for a bit. That first Monster Jam event. How did you get there? Where was it? And what was that weekend like?
Man, my first Monster Jam show. That's a good one. I think my very first one was somewhere in Texas. The Texas fans treated me great forever. I know the ones that meant the most to me, and I was very fortunate. So many of us do this, and so few of us would ever get to do it in front of our home crowds. My first big show and I hate to use any word like we didn't care, but it was a night where if we didn't have to drive on the road, if we wadded it up, was Albuquerque. And those Albuquerque shows just started becoming more and more and more to me. Anybody who's worked with me in Albuquerque, I hope you understand and know what I'm talking about, especially from the Monster Jam people. Everybody was really good to me. One of the only few things I wish I had done and never did was bring the Rot back to Albuquerque. And honestly, I don't know if they wanted that. It's a small arena, and I don't know, maybe that's one of the reasons, but I wanted to give my hometown a freestyle in C50, one of the best chassis ever built in one man's opinion.
So we talked about Big Bill a little bit, and for those of the people that don't know who Big Bill is, it's Bill Easterly, who's been in the business since the beginning of time. You mentioned the relationship you had with him and how you got to be a part of Monster at Rottweiler. Was that some discussion that you had prior, or was it just a call one day and an opportunity arose?
Man, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the great and terribly, unfortunately late Mike Wales. Mike and I started talking first, and let me just say what a great man Mike Wales was. Very real, very humble, very, he was the dude, and everybody knew it. Everybody knew it except Mike, it seemed. Mike was so humble and just so down to earth and real and could have a real conversation with you. May God bless his soul and his family and his wife, Peggy. I thought the world of Mike. Mike was the opportunity and my door into the company, and we had some great talks. I went to North Carolina with him for a while, and we played around, and I had the privilege of playing around at the Digger Shop in North Carolina, the field. I ate some great meals at Digger's Diner. I spent an incredible week there. I stayed with somebody else I love, and I'm not going to name drop, but man, the week we had in that house was incredible. It never, ever felt like a job to me. I loved it so much. It's not work. And anybody who's really passionate about this will tell you that. There's people who get old on it and it grinds on them and they lose the passion, in my opinion. Not naming names. Everybody who's been around it can see it. There's people that are really into this still and all about it. And there's people that have clearly disconnected and are bitter. And I'm never bitter. I'm thankful.
Who were some of the favorite competitors you ran against over the years?
Man, the ones that broke. Gosh, Rick Long, I love you. I hope you're out here. I hope you're watching this. Dan Runte, I never had the feud with Runte. I just loved him so much, but Rick Long and I would just go at it. We always had fun with Pitt. Where my game stepped up, my second or third year in Rottweiler, I had the honor of being paired up with my incredible friend Tony Farrell, and he had a Gravedigger Legend truck that he cared little to nothing about. I'm sorry to say that. Anybody it's not like it's a secret. I think there's hundreds of thousands of people who saw it. Tony did not care about that truck. I felt bad for that chassis, for Fry Daddy and for Paulie and everybody who had to help us reassemble that mess. But Tony sat down with me and helped me really step up my game. I think Tony's talks and just his calmness. I mean, the things we would talk about before a show, and if you've ever worked with the legend, Tony Farrell, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He'll take all that stress and everything I'm trying to, barking. And Tony would just break your ice and shatter you. He was hilarious. And there'll never be another Tony Farrell, and that's unfortunate. But it's also just a reality of how it is. Tony was unbelievable, just incredible to work with, incredible to learn from, and an incredible friend to have, just to be there, and just an amazing amount of fun. Never had so much fun, dude.
Do you have a favorite Tony Farrell story that you'd like to share?
That I would like to share. Let's share, that. I got to be real careful here. I don't know if all the statutes have expired yet. that might cover rental vehicles. I'm not sure. Man, I remember they told us both to take it easy at a certain show, and a certain promoter with the company said, look, I'm tired. It's been a long weekend, and I really don't want to hear from you guys tonight. So let's just take it easy and get out of here. That did not happen. That it ended up being an awful long night with a ton of fun and memories that will last in a lot of people's cameras and minds forever. At me and Tony both just laying it out there, having fun. And there was no spite to it. There was no, we'll show them or whatever. It was just two people who genuinely loved it and didn't care. And I remember watching Tony just wad it up and leave it there in a smoldering mess. And he jumps out with wheels broken and everything, and people are going crazy. And I was all, dang, dude, aren't you worried? They told us to chill out. And he's all, well, they go back to the temp agency they were looking at when they found me. And he just, his genuineness of it. And certainly he loved everybody as much as I did. It was just, they had brought him back, and he just wanted to have fun. That's all we were trying to do, was have fun. And I felt like, especially watching Tony, if we were having fun, then dang sure everybody else around us is having a blast. Okay, almost everybody else around us was having a blast. And most importantly, the ones who were paying for it were having the time of their lives. And Tony and me absolutely wanted to make sure that happened whenever we went there. As I'm sure many people do in this business. I mean, there's the whole digger team out there. They know their job. They know what they're there to do. And I just hope that people that ran against me knew they were going to have to work harder that night. This isn't going to be, whoa, here comes Benz. And I never meant anything bad by it. I just wanted to be pumped up, and I had so much respect for all of you. I needed that extra edge to get out there and compete against you. I loved it. I had so much fun. My favorite drivers to race were Tony Farrell. Anytime me and him would get together, it was on. Rick Long. I would race you in a golf cart. I don't care what it is. I'll race you in anything. Bar stools, whatever, buddy. You call me anytime. And Rick does. Rick's come by in Albuquerque. I've stayed in touch with him over these years. And unfortunately, he knows that I will beat on him anytime. It's unfortunate. I'm sorry about that, but it's true.
I'll tell you, Charles, we have a lot of great comments and questions. Make sure you keep them coming. We're going to get to all the questions here tonight, and make sure you're liking and sharing this podcast video wherever this podcast needs to go. We have one comment here from Christy Mendersey. She says, Colorado loves you. Did you ever almost pass out headbanging?
I love Colorado back, and that's in so many towns, and several of them were a result of Christy and her beautiful family. Again, I hope somebody gets a hold of Rick and Peggy and tells them how awesome they were and how much that show and all their shows that were awesome meant to me. But yeah, gosh, this one's hard. I do have a video of this. Maybe I'll share it. My very first show, like, remember, this went from gut-wrenching, nervous guy in the restroom wincing to by the end of the weekend, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give me some of this. It's a pit bull, you know. And I, such a fool. I started headbanging, and that was at the very beginning. I was like, yeah, I came here, folks, right? And just what a nut. And I ripped out I did these donuts forever. It was the first time my chassis had a transfer case that would disengage the front wheels. So you could sit there and do donuts while you checked your cell phone messages for like 10 minutes. You're really not stressing the equipment as hard as you could be. And it made it was cool, entertained a lot of people. We're in this dirt field and I did donuts forever and you couldn't even see anymore. I didn't know where I was. And when I got out, Roller, yeah, Jeff, love you, brother. Roller said I had won, and I couldn't believe I had won my first weekend out. And when the dust cleared and he said that, I ripped out my ponytail, and they were all, yeah, here he is, the pit bull. And I started headbanging, and I literally fell off the car stack and erupted to a full sold-out crowd, roaring with laughter at my folly. It was awful. It was so stupid. It's so dumb. That was classic. Yes, I did fall. Whatever. Thank you.
There might have been another time you've fallen. And there we had a comment from Mackenzie Ray, and they say, Charles, you remember falling off the golf cart in Indianapolis?
Yes. Kenny, my buddy Kenny is one of the best announcers of all time, and I love you, Ken, and I hope wherever you're at or whatever you're doing it loud and proud, brother. And I mean that. Got nothing but love for you. And yeah, Kenny, the guy I got nothing but love for, tried to kill me. I'm in Indy. It's one of the biggest shows of my life. I think it was a TV show weekend. It was, all hands on deck, big trucks there. All right, let's get it together. I came here to make an impact. All right. And the crowd's barking and everything's going my way. And my truck, it was one of the few times ever my truck didn't run to the 100% level, which even at 90%, my truck was still better than almost everybody else's, just saying. My truck was running off. I almost made it into the final in racing, and I was really tore up about it. And I did take them hard. And I know some people were turned off by that. Gosh, I hate to sit here and apologize all night. And I'm sorry, but not sorry. I took them hard. I did. I didn't come to just park it and be done. I came there to make it to the end, and I took them hard. So freestyle came that night in Indy, and I went out there and I just started torching it. I made sure I got in some good ones, and okay, yeah, I don't want to gyp this crowd. I love all these people. Oh wait, we're coming up on bonus time, or as I like to call it, our time, because it's my time then too. I know it's the fans' time, but bonus time was my time. I filled my time card, chink, did what I'm supposed to do, didn't wad it up. Oh, wait, now it's my time. And one of the first hits in bonus time, I hit this psycho hill the wrong way, kind of crooked, and just wide opened it out. And the rear steer just kind of cocked it over, and it sets it. And I was just kind of scuffing along the passenger side tires. And my steering was so good, I was able to cut out from under it. But it hooked the wheel and bent the 4-link bar all to heck. It tore a bunch of things up underneath it. So they killed me. And now I'm not Mint style with, hey, I still have one wheel. What are you guys killing me for? I just thought, now I blew it in racing. My bonus time was cut short, but it was a killer save. I mean, the truck did drive out of there, but that was a big one. That taking that save out and that night was nuts. And gosh, man, all of it. Where would how do you narrow it down to one thing when you got to do what we did?
I hear you there. I got a question here from Mario Ortega. He says, how was it getting to compete at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio in 2010? Now, I think we had the shot of you doing the splits from that show in our promo video. You had a lot of interesting wreck at that event, wouldn't you say?
Oh man, no. Well, I was just young and stupid, and again, you always felt it at Monster Jam, and it is the big time, man. You get there, you're on top of it, and even more so when it was TV nights. I loved the TV nights. You could just feel there's even more more expectation, more crowd, more, they want it. And I went out there for for freestyle, and they had cut the ramps and just iron walled them. And I missed it totally. I don't know how. And that was the last time I didn't walk a track before freestyle. If you guys ever saw me, I always walked the track before freestyle because of what happened in San Antonio, because they literally cut these nice, smooth, elevated ramps into just brick wall. And I iron walled it and launched it straight up in the air. And there was nothing I could, nothing would have saved that. And it just landed so hard. I see that video and everybody laughs and says, "Oh, dude, that was awesome. What was that like?" That was like somebody taking a baseball bat and hitting me in the back of the head with it. That's what that was like. It was crazy. And I didn't know what to do. And I was kind of spinny from the whole thing. And I got out and I just was like, yeah, that's it. I came here to fight. And I just kind of fell back into the old please the crowd with some silly little MMA training antics and hope you didn't get knocked out, really. And all my friends tonight from Jackson's here in Albuquerque, Jackson's MMA, the school for MMA. I'd like to throw a shout out to everybody there. Mike Winklejohn, you are the greatest striking coach in the world. I would trip over my own 2 feet if you hadn't taught me how to move around in a kickboxing ring. Thank you, sir.
Got another one of your old friends in the comments, Chad Reed. How you doing, Chad? He says, "Hey, Charles, let's hear one of your favorite Tony Farrell memories. One of the few that came to the funeral and meant a lot to all of us." Now, I know we've shared a lot of Tony's stories here tonight, and I guess that really shows the character guy you are to make the trip over to Tony's.
I want to be very clear. I did not get to make it to Tony's funeral. There were people from the Jam that made it there. I was in the middle of a tremendous project when all that happened, and I could not go. It was heart-wrenching. So I appreciate him thinking that. Buddy, I didn't get to make it. I'll be at that gravesite someday, and I will be drinking a Bud Light at that gravesite. And I don't like Bud Light. I just, there's a reason, and I'll be there. I'll get to that gravesite. I'll pay my respect.
A lot of people know you had a big impact on charities, traveling across the country, charities. What was your favorite memory, or favorite memories, I should say, donating to charities?
Man, it's the whole thing was silly. I wish I had like benevolent stories of my family for generations has, it's the school I went to. They had a hospital next door that took care of kids in this hospital. And I volunteered in that hospital in school, and I met a kid there who went through a lot, man. He had been in a car wreck at the age of 4 with no seatbelt, and he lost everything from the neck down as a very young boy. And this was like 200 miles to the south of here, close to El Paso. The hospital here was where he was. His mother was back there with the siblings and the rest of the family. So I just kind of took to him. And I learned about Carrie Tingley Hospital, and anybody who works there does it because they feel like helping kids, like I did about racing trucks. They don't do it to get rich. They do it because they love doing what they do. And in their case, it's helping little kids that have orthopedic challenges. And little man went through all his surgeries, and he wanted to go outside. I will never forget this. He wanted to go outside, and I was always a gearhead. And a friend of mine engineered a deep cycle battery and an inverter. And Dr. Fred Sherman, who is a hero from Carrie Tingley Hospital, said that if we could get enough time for him to go out, he would allow us to go out for half. This young man only wanted to leave his room and go outside. And we hacked together with duct tape and some wires an inverter setup that would go a long time, actually. We got to take him out, and he just wanted to be outside. I'll just leave it at that. I won't even divulge anything else. I think his family's on here. He just wanted to go outside, and man, we did that, right? And during those experiences, certainly my school project ended. The doctor asked me to stay on. He said, he's responding to you. You're kind of a nut that he likes being around. And I never thought I'd ever be proud to be called a nut. but I took to it. And I was like, dude, I'll just act silly and make the kids laugh, whatever, right? And never treated them different. They don't want to be highlighted and treated different. They want to just rap and have a normal conversation and hear me talk about beating up Bigfoot or beating up Gravedigger or whoever it was. I just wanted to talk with them or get their healthy siblings out. Hey guys, I know you've been pent up here in the waiting room a while. Let's get out of here and go to the show or whatever. Well, he taught me a lot of lessons about life. The biggest lesson that kid ever taught me was never to complain. And I know people have seen me rage over race defeats or things like that or whatever. And by rage, I mean keep it to myself, like, don't talk to me for a minute. Never been a thrower or anything like that. I just needed a moment. But one thing nobody can ever say, man, that Charles Benz, all he ever did was sit around and complain. Never. That kid and the other kids that I got to meet at Carrie Tingley Hospital and throughout the Children's Miracle Network across the country and literally around the world in some cases changed me. I don't like monster trucks. Man, thank God I got 2 legs. I can get up and he's given me the strength and the will to get up and walk away and do something else if I like to. And not only that, but I'm going to pray and do everything I can to help the ones who can't do that. And because of them not complaining, you're never going to hear Charles Benz complain about anything. And that's as real as it gets with me, people. If you've been around me 5 minutes, you know what's up with that.
Charles, part of your character and your personality is that long hair of yours, a very signature trait. And one of the other ways you would give back in charity is donating your hairs to Locks of Love. Why'd you decide to do that and always continue to keep that going?
Oh, gosh. You guys have, trapped me on everything. Okay. Well, for years, I've supported the hey, Josh and everybody that I fought with when AKKA, before Jackson's. Everybody remembers the jerk boss I had, and I tried everything to not have to cut my hair. My first fight was when I was, it was many years ago, but I was at my birthday, and my corner guys and me were real Metallica fans, if you can believe that. I know that may be hard for you to believe. Oh, sorry. Jason Newsted had a haircut where he had the sides of his head shaved, but he would always wear the ponytail, and then at the show, he would let it out every now and then. So we all cut our hair the same way before that fight. And my boss hated it. And he was like, cut that hair. And he would come to the meetings with scissors and tease me and mess with me. We tried everything. It's my religion. It's, I tried, I know where church you go to. It's to native. I honor natives, or I tried every BS story and it didn't work. And he was getting tighter and tighter on me. And I had heard about Locks of Love, and I donated my hair. And the boss came out, and I know Josh, I know you remember who this is, Mr. B. Still love you if you're watching, man. He came out of the general manager's office, and he goes, did you cut your hair? And I said, yes, sir. I cut off a foot of it. And he goes, well, that's not cutting your hair. And I told him what I did. And he told me he had a little girl who had cancer. And he said, carry on. And every year to year and a half since that day, I've donated my hair to Locks of Love. And I actually got to meet people from the facility. And Pablo Huffaker, if you're out there, yes, you saw me cry. You saw me break down like a little whiner. And a patient, a recipient of a hairpiece came through in Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. And she comes to the line and she goes, I really think that's cool what you do for the hair and the Locks of Love. And I was like, oh, thank you. Did you want anything signed? And it's really nice to meet you. And she goes, no. I really think it's cool. And I fell apart, guys. It never got so heavy. I never thought about it. And it was so stupid that it started as an excuse to get out of work because me and my crew, my corner guys had silly haircuts. But to evolve into meeting people that were being recipients of these prosthetic hair pieces, these are like the share wigs, the prosthetic hair pieces that I mean, kids are cruel, dude. I'll say it. I've heard horrific stories about how mean they can be. And to know that you can give a kid back self-esteem while they're going through craziness, man, it was easy. And my biggest, it takes 10-inch long pieces of hair to make one of those hair pieces. And some of my best memories were in Vegas at the World Finals and at Summer Smash in Albuquerque and even in the Netherlands for a while when people wanted to take a picture of my silly rear end cutting off their ponytail. And it's like, think about it, man. Summer Smash one year, we did dozens of them. That's several kids getting self-esteem back. And it all like rotated around just me wanting to go out there and act crazy and make people laugh and have fun and beat other competitors. It like, I literally found a way to unify like everything good to just having fun. And don't forget veterans, honoring our service people. I loved it, man. It was all just fun to me. It was never work. I never minded getting up at 4 a.m. I never minded going to veterans hospitals, children's hospitals. Put me there. I want it. I'm going there. And the only thing that could get me to walk away did. And she's amazing. That's all I can say.
Definitely appreciate all you've done for your community and just public service in general. You're inspiration to a lot of people. But we're going to move on to our next segment. Maybe spark up some more memories. It's time for Explain That Photo. It's that time again. We're going to start it off with our first photo. This one's an interesting one. Charles, can you explain this photo?
No, dude. little slight run-in with the law, laddie. No, I I know that my best friend is laughing at this one right now. I definitely haven't, and gosh, man, I don't do politics. I just do being a good citizen and a great member of our community. I try to be, and I'm thankful to any member of the community, no matter what they do. Okay, this is anybody who puts on any badge of any type and goes out there willing to help people that they've never met before in their life. So don't put me into politics or any of that. I don't care what you do for what, as long as you do it honestly and ethically. Anybody who puts a badge on, fill in the blank with what they do, you have my respect. And everywhere I went, I don't know why, man, the cops always seem to kind of watch me from the very beginning. And I struck up many friendships, and there's probably a couple of hundred pictures like this of me getting the business all around the world. It's funny. There's the police eye or policey, the different countries and their emblems, but a good butt whipping's always the same thing in any language, and I got a bunch of them. And like I said, anybody who puts on a badge for any reason, thank you. And indeed, anybody who puts on a United States military uniform, thank you, big time.
So speaking of, the military, I noticed something right above the tongue of that truck. If you look closely, it looks like it says Army Strong. So what is the writing all about, and what did that represent to you?
Oh man, that was put on. I don't know if this is in Tacoma where I'm getting roughed up by the cops here. There were so many towns, a lot of stories.
Oklahoma City.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that was on my truck for an entire season. That was put on by, and I actually have that piece and a killer photo of the people who put that on there. There's an incredible lady named Brittany Hamilton who runs a veteran service operations center in Seattle, Tacoma area. And she brought a group of veterans to our event. And these guys had been there before, and a couple of them knew me. And like, I was like, me? You want my autograph? And I was all, may I please have your autograph? These were people with battle injuries that had not just served our country, but in combat. And gosh, man, that was one of the most humbling things in the world to have them ask me to sign or do anything. I was like, man, I'll do whatever you guys want. I'll wash your car for you. I mean, you need the oil changed? What can I do for you? And I said, but all I ask of you is that you sign this for me, because I'm going to keep this forever. And I did. And to have heroes that served our country in combat and were wounded from it or suffered any problems from it at all come and see me, I was so humbled by that. And And Brittany Hamilton, you're an amazing lady, and what you do for veterans is off the charts wonderful. Thank you. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who feel the same way. That's the other thing too about our family. And I just think that there's a lot of really great, level-headed, respectful, patriotic, patient, understanding people that just want to have a good time and tear stuff up. There's no politics in tearing things to pieces and having fun. It's just, I love it. I miss that world. I really do.
Phil, you got another photo for us?
I sure do. Show me the picture.
Oh no, you got. Oh, okay. On a true story, I had a couple of cell phones plugged into one of those double outlets, and my microwave popcorn thing going at the same time, and that's just a circuit overload. That's that was my very first show in my hometown of Albuquerque, and there was no way that I was going to leave anything after that freestyle. And the motor actually cracked a head, and it sent alcohol and oil all over the exhaust. And that's the first picture, because I'm kind of looking down and I'm like, hey, is that a, and when I read this, I was like, man, that looks like, I'm John Seasock, man. He always told me to wear my fire mask always. And it was so hot that night, and we were outside in the cold, and we had to come in, and I didn't have my fire mask on. And I looked down, and my eyes were burned shut. I'm going to tell you guys the honest story. I used to be Val Kilmer, and that night, the fire caused this ugliness that sits before you now, and it burned my eyes shut. One of the eyes, it was cool because the ambulance people, again, anybody who wears a badge, thank you. Some lady came over with the little scrubby thing, and it's like the brush on one side and a sponge on the other. And my eye popped open, and I was like, hey, all right, there is everybody. Okay. The other one we weren't so lucky with, I had to go in and get a little cut me mick. So everybody out there, wear your fire mask and your shield down when you're freestyling, because you never know, especially if you push it hard. You never know. And I never minded the impacts, because everybody, oh, geez, Charles, you just endo. Didn't that hurt? And I was like, I wasn't getting punched in the face while it happened. Fire was the new level for me. And anybody out there who's ever been on fire can tell you it is a sobering experience.
So what was it like getting out of that truck? That must have been pretty crazy. It was the first real big one I'd been in, and I sat there like every train driver trying to screw around with my fire release thing, and I ended up like turning on my auto steer or something. I just, in that moment when it's all around you and in your eyes and your throat, I used to speak better too. I got that from it. Fire changes you. You just want to get out. And I remember getting out and being happy that I was out. All right, looks like we have another photo here. Here we go.
That was near the very, very beginning. And I'm going to tell you right now, that guy was the nicest guy in the world to anybody, but he didn't just open up to you right away. And it was during this time that you realized there was more to him than what was at the show. And I was very fortunate enough to have him open up to me. And I don't think Tony and I would have the friendship that he and I ended up having if it weren't for Mike Wine and for Bucky. And I love you guys too, man. I just remember seeing the fun they had and the good times and just wanting to be a part of that so bad. And for Tony to open the door with me and take me in, man, just, I can't say enough good things about him. And I miss him. I miss his silly text messages and his phone call. And he was always picking on me. Anybody who was around us knew that. I was a victim of bullying everywhere, guys. That's the truth. And Tony was one of the biggest ones, but Tony was also the type of guy who wouldn't mess with you at all or ever bully you if he didn't really care about you. And I knew that. I knew it.
Phil, you got any more photos for us?
Got another one. Show me the picture.
Now, you guys. Dude, I'm trying to.
Looks like obviously morning media somewhere.
Yeah, it's early. I definitely know when it's early because I have the shades on, so you can't tell that it's like a map back to the hotel room in my eyeball. Those 4 a.m.s come early. Yeah, Tony's wearing jeans. You know that's media. Oh, yeah.
Got one more picture there, Vinny?
Yeah, I got one more picture for us. Here we
Tony
go.
would leave me if you. Oh gosh, if you were ever late, Tony would drive off and leave you. It would infuriate me because I'm always late, and he would drive away and leave. Like I said, you would have never seen that side of Tony Farrell. If he didn't care about you, he wouldn't tease you. He wouldn't have picked at you. And every bit of abuse I took from him was worth every minute of, all right, now you see this hill over here, I'm going to tell you what. If you come at it like everybody else, you're going to do what happened there. You want to hit it the other way. And I can still hear his voice, and I miss it. And I miss, and I'm not going to answer any questions about this at all, but those of you who know me and have ever been out with me, Tony and I were the kings of the hay game, and I'll just leave it at that. We'll see what comments come up from that, but Tony and I were the best hay game players of all time.
Hey, what happens on the road stays on the road, Charles. I totally get that from first-hand experience. And
Absolutely.
there's a lot of guys here giving you a lot of love here, a lot of past co-workers. You got good friend Randy Smallwood. He said he did a great job.
Big Wood.
Here.
Man, that guy, talk about one of the people from the very beginning. And with all the respect in the world, I love Randy. I'm going to tell you what, I love me some Mrs. Smallwood. She's one of the nicest women I've ever met in this business. She can make every stadium feel like your second home. And man, Randy was so patient with me. Randy, I know you're going to remember this. How many times did I call you on Saturday afternoon in Albuquerque? This was only in Albuquerque. Everywhere else we're pretty consistent, reliable. But in Albuquerque, it's Saturday afternoon at 4. Oh man. Hey, Randy. Yeah. Hey, dude. No. Yeah, it's almost back together. I don't know if we're going to have a hood, a correct front wheel, every shock, a drive line. But oh yeah, we're going to be there. Oh yeah, I'll be there in a few. Randy was so patient and such a great manager, event director, safety professional. There are two guys out there, and I'll name them. And I know there's guys with heart, but there were two guys that worked in safety that I felt, remember this, I said it already. I have a little fire thing. Getting burned is not much fun at all. I promise you. And there are two guys that I worked with out there on the road, and one was Big Wood for sure, Randy Smallwood. And I'll say it, Jim Ursini, I hope you're out there. I hope you're watching, because you were ugly and mean enough to reach in and grab me if it was burning, and I knew that. And I think I ran harder sometimes knowing that one of you two was at a show. Not that everybody there wasn't qualified, and I'm not darn grateful to all of you, because I know I saw like extra people come down. To me, that was a compliment. I love that. Oh, bring another kill radio. Pull the ambulance in. Those were compliments to me. But Big Wood and Ursini, I think both, fire ain't going to bother them. They knew what they were supposed to do, and I think they would have come through anything for me. I mean that about both of them. So many people. Gosh, I miss you guys. That was why I told them I would do this, is to tell everybody out there how much I still love y'all. I'll miss you. Everybody.
We have a comment here from Kevin Mathis, and he says, the last show I had with you was Little Rock driving Rottweiler.
Hey, I won that race. Were you there Friday or Saturday? Because I think I know what you're going to talk about.
Oh, man.
I won that race. I know what happened, and yes, it was horrific. Oh, my gosh. Sorry nobody went to bed that night, but everybody knew me. I'm coming there to fight. If I had the privilege of fighting for a real fight or a race or for whatever, I've got that same mentality. I'm coming there to do it. And it wasn't always the best for the truck or the team. And I'm grateful. I know I made a lot of people stay up late. Well, I'm grateful for most of them. Some of them, and I'm not naming names, some of them I didn't mind keeping you up all night at all.
Well, hopefully it wasn't Kevin, because he also said it was a pleasure to work shows with you.
Oh no, man, I'm honored. No, there's only a couple, and they know who they are. No, I loved everybody. We just had fun. Like, I hope that's what the biggest memory of me was. I mean, it all worked together for me. The humanitarian stuff was just so great to be able to bring it into my fun. The camaraderie and the friendships were so great to be able to bring into my fun. The fans were the pinnacle, and without them, it wouldn't be as much fun. Like, honestly, and I think 90% of us who really were into this would still go out there and do this with not a single fan there. It's just about, yeah, what you got, buddy. But the fans are what make it. Like, that is literally what makes it. And I miss that fun. And I just, luckily, everything tied together for me to have fun. And okay, not everything. Again, I know there's some drivers, there's some event managers, there's some people that were irritated by my ways. Again, I'm sorry, kind of, but I don't think anybody ever got hurt. I don't think we ever did anybody wrong. In fact, I think quite the opposite. Any fan who ever touched my hand or came up in my line to see me got done right. And I'm thankful. I'm not the, oh man, I can't wait to get back to the hotel guy. That was never me. Dude, stay all night. Heck, they're still out there. Let's get something to drink. You know, where's the waters? Bring me a Dr. Pepper. Stay all night.
You know, Charles, we obviously know you for being a colorful personality. And let me ask you this. Why did you decide to just be the wild man? Always just be different, you know. Everybody's got a personality in the business, but there's nobody out there flipping their hair, jumping up and down on the tires, just Ben's being Ben's. Well, that's one of the big things you're hyping up. Why did you decide to make yourself that energetic and colorful?
Wow. This is real. This is like, gosh, I hope no clients are watching this right now, but I think the people that are on this that have known me, gosh, 20 more years, this is who I was before I drove. That was me riding my Ninja around Albuquerque. That was me in my Blazer out at the end of Eubank or the West Side. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I've always liked to have fun. Again, not the type of fun where you're hurting anybody or you take a chance with anybody else. I wouldn't do that with somebody in the truck with me or whatever, but yeah, I'll jump the creek. Sure. You know, heck, let's try it. Yeah. I'm proud to say who I am. I think it's going to keep me sane. I'm not going to change. And I know that is a terrible thing to say. I'm going to change and grow and evolve in my spirituality, living right, honoring what he wants me to do. I'm definitely going to do that. I'm going to evolve as a better dad every day. I'll never say I got that. And I'll always want to evolve in my professional career. But my true core beliefs and who I am, man, I'm not going to change that. I'm proud to be like that fireball. They still call me that. I still go into meetings with people now, and they're like, dude, did you drink too much coffee today? I'm all, not yet. And I want to bring that energy. It's hard. You know, you want to bring that. I bring it into sales meetings. I don't know if people in my real estate life are going to come on here, but my meetings ain't boring. You're not going to fall asleep when I'm coaching. I promise you that. You're not going to sleep on me. And I think it's just been who I've been the whole time. And I did. I got pumped when I would fight, and I got pumped when I would race. And that's real, fellas. I loved it.
Got a lot of great comments from people, especially ones like this from Felicia Garcia. She said, always good to see you, Charles Benz. Good memories with your family and ours. You always did good for New Mexico, especially donating to the carry. Tingley Hospital, and that's how we met you because my son was going there for help. Thank you for all you do.
Felicia, Big Al, everybody, AJ, Dan, gosh, I love you guys. It's been great to watch the girls grow up, and again, these are those relationships you built. These weren't people that I just whipped through an autograph line like, oh, here you go, folks. Yeah, sign next, a picture. Oh, one item per person. That never. Yeah. Oh, you guys want to talk? Heck yeah, let's talk. Oh, you know what? Here comes security. You kind of rough me up. Here come the cops. I'll be here after the show. And thank heaven for me that I was like that, because I've had the honor of meeting people like them. They're amazing folks, man, and they're very real too. They're the connections. Gosh, what's the word? I guess the connections I made were real. I wasn't posing no autograph line, and I wasn't looking for the dude to come around. You know, I made real connections. And I'm supposed to say this because my lawyers like this better than I'm crazy. So I would like to think that my passionate enthusiasm exuded and manifested itself in an entertaining form. There, that's for you, Fitz. It's crazy. I've had people take videos of me and make assumptions. Like, you can encapsulate someone's heart and character out of a video of them barking at 103,000 people in Arlington, Texas. And if you haven't been in front of 100,000 people and heard them barking back at you, you know, that for me was the real buzz. They knew what I would do for them if they would do it for me, and me and the crowd had that relationship, you know, and I let them drive for me. It was through me. I just got to be the guy yanking on the wheel and the shifter. I let the crowd live through me. I love that. Wow, that's deep, man. Is this recorded? Heck,
It's recorded, it's live, it's everything and anything. And make sure, if you're listening to us and you haven't shared this video already, make sure you share it so all your friends can jump in and hang out with us as we continue on live here on Monster Truck Outlaws of the West. Got another comment here from our good friend Abraham Camacho down there in Tucson, Arizona. And he
Tucson.
says, yeah,
the rodeo or the arena? Where are we at, buddy? I tore up the wall in the arena. They were mad at me in Tucson. You want to beat Bigfoot? You want to beat Bigfoot? You want to put Bigfoot on the trailer? You better get your wallet and your throttle foot out.
That's exactly what he was asking. Do you recall beating Bigfoot at the convention center, catching some pretty big air and snapping a spindle, landing across the finish line? Do what it takes.
I will never forget what a 60-foot block wall looks like, with a ginormous center section pushed in like a molded imprint of a Terra tire, or what hockey foam looks like coming out of a floor. Sorry, Tucson Convention Center. Love you guys, really. Even better than that. And I had such good fun in Tucson. I love the convention center, the rodeo grounds, the Sturgis family. Man, props to Ronnie. Gary Jr. I remember all that, dude. You're crazy. Sam Sr. And Tucson people ain't playing around down there. They'll eat your lunch. I've been very fortunate, man. You guys have sparked up so many memories that I guess I've just, you know, it's been a minute. It's been a minute, and to bring all these back and think about all these amazing people and just a whole different life that I had the privilege to live. I thank you. You know, that's why I was like, you guys were like, thanks for coming on. I'm like, no, dude, thanks for asking my crazy rear end to come be on your show. I appreciate it.
No, we'll always throw it right back, Charles. Thank you for being a part of it, and I know everybody is enjoying themselves here tonight.
I wish that I could, I wish I didn't have to go through my own legal and everything else to show videos of things that we did. And I think a little more prep, and I could have made it a lot more entertaining show, but it's probably best at this point. We'll save that one for the old man interview someday.
The comment here from Travis Palm. He says, completely forgot that I've seen Charles Benz in Minneapolis, January 2012. He said, you did amazing that night. Do you recall Minneapolis?
Oh, man. I'll never forget that show for many reasons, and most of them are very good.
Hey, one of your signature events, question here from Levi Shones. He says, what was the story behind the Sandia Summer Smash? It was always a bucket list event for Levi. It always seemed like you were head honcho for that event. What were some of your favorite moments from the Summer Smash?
I was the head honcho. Who told you that?
It must be the hair.
I couldn't head honcho. No, I was. Gosh, man, all these you guys hit on all these crazy stories. Where does this come from, dude? You guys rock. Good job. The Sandia Summer Smash was a stupid endeavor in losing money. There's a casino north of Albuquerque here that had HAD, an outdoor racetrack that was really nice. Promoter did a show here one year. Now, Monster Jam is awesome. And of course, Monster Jam is Monster Jam. I mean, that's it, right? But Monster Jam they only came through in the winter months here, and there's no outdoor venue. Now, and I also am very proud of this. I always wanted to bring the bigger show elements to Albuquerque because I couldn't believe this crap people would pull out for me to run over out there on the road. And Albuquerque, the Tingley Cow Palace is limited to what would fit through the tunnel. And I met the manager of the Tingley Coliseum, and I started measuring the tunnel one of the years before Monster Jam was coming to Albuquerque. And I asked Monster Jam, and I had to make all these promises for this rodeo dirt. We had people out there like gold miners with pans after this, but the powers that be at Monster Jam, and I'm grateful I got to do this, no matter who paid for it or did what. They let me bring in a motorhome into Tingley. That's the only one I've ever known of or seen in my knowledge. And everything just jibed. I got with the mayor, who had been a good friend of mine here in town. He was a great guy. He really cared about our city. And one of the things he had was a program for at-risk youth that were spray painting buildings and graffitiing stuff. I don't want to meet them out here painting on buildings and deal with that. Let's get to them sooner. Let's talk to them. Let's rap a little bit about, hey, what's going on, buddy? Let's find better ways to use your talents. And I got this huge motorhome, and we did a huge memorial to Carrie Tingley Hospital on one side and New Mexico on the other. And these kids painted it up, and it was killer, dude. And it barely fit within 6 inches. And I know Big Wood was there because he was Papa Speller, everybody, dude. That was one of the craziest nights of my life. I had won wheelies, like Diego Sanchez. Big ups, man. I know you came to my show. Ultimate Fighter, dude. You won it. Jackson's Albuquerque strong, bro. I'm proud for every time you ever punched me, bro. And all those fighters who came to my show that night, I was buzzing. And when I won the wheelies, and I did good in racing, it's hard, man. Pablo Huffaker, love you. I love Racehorse, and I love Tina. Man, you've got a great family. Mikey's huge. I'm an old man. When I did good in Albuquerque, we brought that RV in, and you could just feel that crowd, dude. The crowd in Albuquerque went crazy. They hadn't seen that, and I got to drag it. Oh, look, there's an RV right there, dude. Oh, sorry. Anyway, we took it in, and the crowd started getting tense. And Papa Speller's like, you need to just do this now. These people are getting crazy. And I blasted it, dude. I didn't want to miss. It was perfect, and I just laid into it way too much the whole way. And I made a ginormous disaster of a mess that we spent days cleaning. And that summer, another promoter came and did an outdoor show. And they wouldn't bring any buses, motorhomes. Look at that. Look at what the kids did, dude. Little kids. Well, okay, teenagers that are learning the right way to go painted that instead of our community. How about that, Albuquerque, right? That's awesome. That summer, the promoter who did the outdoor show at the outdoor place didn't bring in anything big. And everybody was like, oh, what do we do? It sold out the outdoor arena. Thousands of people were backed up on the freeway. They got fined by the state. And I was like, man, this outdoor show might be something big. This has potential here. That year, the racetrack was closed. They shut it down forever. I recognized that there was a vacuum. And I hate sounding like I'm trying to be smart, because I'm not, guys. I realized that they might be some folks want to see some big stuff get hit outside. I don't want to pretend to be smart. I just thought maybe that we could put something together here that would be successful with large obstacles that most of the fan-paying ticket buyers here aren't accustomed to seeing. I went to the only racetrack left in our community, and I approached them, and we made a multi-year deal for, I guess, to host a show in Albuquerque. And I was very fortunate to have some good friends out there. Brandon Lagarde, Jimmy Cretin. How about you and Don? Love you guys. Darren Mingus, you're a great dude. Swanson, man, love you. Eric Swanson drove his first truck at my show. That was the first show he ever drove in. I'm proud to say that. I'm proud to see what Eric's done. I think they're a class act, and I like them a lot. Mrs. Swanson was always nice to me. Jill, I always call her Mrs. Swanson. I don't know, just all these people. So a lot of people, my friends in the industry, and a lot of great sponsors in Albuquerque helped me do something that has never been done to my knowledge. We held a monster truck show, and we gave the entire gate away. And I don't know if people know what that means or not, but that means you're a darn fool. That's I stood in front of my whole hometown, my mayor, everybody, and it was all, I'm going to have a monster truck show here, and we're going to give away every dollar to our hospital in town. And man, it was huge. And people got behind it. We had school buses, motorhomes, RV boats. We had a plane in we had this was crazy. It literally got out of hand. We had skits, we had merch, it immediately set the record for the largest attended event at that speedway. And it was the media buy of the year for the event, for the track. They got more exposure. We never felt the buzz of that. And Imus in the Morning is the reason I did that. Don Imus, and again, I'm an old man, but Imus was a radio host that would kill you if you did a percentage of. Hey, everybody, buy a Pitbull t-shirt and we'll give a percentage of the sales. No. Don Imus would kill you. He was like, you either do it or you don't do it. So I took that philosophy, not just from racing the truck and giving away Pitbull's money, but I was like, let's do a whole show and give away every dollar to the hospital. And we did it for several years. And man, what a ride. And so many people helped. I can't run down that list of how many people from my community. Well, I know where I'll start. My coordinator, Ro Torres, I'll start there. That lady is phenomenal. Her husband, Gerald, love you, brother. They, along with my family and everybody who worked there, it was huge. It was the biggest thing I had ever seen around here, and it was a field full of mobile homes and motor homes and boats and stuff to just blast. And world champion friends came from around the country to help me throw it down. So that's the story of the Sandia Summer Smash. And after the final year of our contract, it was too much. I don't know what to say, guys. I was doing a lot, and when you have a little girl, and any daddy of a little girl out here who's watching, I hope you'll step up and back me here. Them little girls don't play fair. They change you. They change who you are. They get inside your heart, and you can't leave them. At least I couldn't, and I didn't. And I don't look back. I have some incredible memories from that life, but I've got an amazing family, and I was here to watch my little girl's first steps. Her first word was daddy. And man, there's no amount of money that you could ever put a value on that with. I'm sorry, guys. I watched my little girl take her first steps. Daddy was her first word. That's a win. That's a bigger win than the World Finals to me. And that's hard to say.
Wouldn't change a thing you did, Charles. But we do have good old Ken Nowitzki in the comments. He says, my man, do you have any good Ken Nowitzki stories you can share with us?
Just what we were touching on, the freestyle in Indianapolis. Sorry I didn't finish answering that question. Ken Nowitzki is an evil predator who tried to hurt me, ladies and gentlemen. I was simply minding my own business after carefully saving my truck. The whole thing was a plan that I had illustrated and orchestrated long before the event. Kenny comes out to rescue me in the golf cart after I wad my stuff up. And I was not paying attention at all. I met some people from Indiana Law School. I had some family that had gone there. And a lot of people from Indiana University. I went to Bloomington that weekend. I met my family in Indiana was amazing to me. And the people I met from Indiana Law and Indiana University and the basketball team, little pink houses. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I was there. And when I wadded that truck up, here comes Kenny in the golf cart. And the Indiana people gave me an Indiana Law School shirt. And I'm trying, before I get zipped away by the cart with Kenny, I'm trying to show the Indiana logo to the crowd because they had been so good to me, like every crowd, you know what I mean? But man, I had a sick week in Bloomington, and I'm not going to talk about any icy streets or unsafe vehicle operation at all. I'm just going to say sometimes roads get slick, and that can be dangerous. But the week I had in Bloomington was amazing. The week in Indy was awesome. And I was going to give it to them. And that's what they got in that freestyle. I know the people that were there in Indy felt that one. I did. And as I'm trying to show that T-shirt off, I'm not looking. And Kenny, the predatory maniac who likes to hurt monster truck drivers, just so you guys know, the mean guy to drivers, rips the wheel and cruelly pushes me to the side. No, actually, I'm an idiot. And Kenny's is driving and turns really hard, and I slam out of this cart and just ate dirt. There's so many of those moments. You guys are hitting all these crazy ones, falling off of cars. Kenny slams me into the dirt because I'm a dummy. And man, Ken Nowitzki, I love you, bro. I said it before. I hope you're doing great out there. Whatever you're hollering at, I'm sure it's pumped up.
So my buddy Brian Anger is a big listener of the podcast, and he asked me to ask you about various merchandise you had back in the day. And one of the big absences was a die-cast toy. Was there ever any discussions or plans of a Hot Wheels toy from back in the day?
Yes, and we played that game for a while, and they just kept going through stuff and changes, and it just never materialized. We did paperwork, we had lawyers, we got rights together, and by the time it all came down to it, when it really, I think the rubber would have hit the road, I was already definitely into Rott. Luckily for me, for my Albuquerque activities, my buddy drove Pitt a couple times. That would be Crash Torres, for those of you who don't know him. Yeah, Crash likes to break things. He immediately felt like he was a company driver and just he was good, man. My buddy helped me for years, and yeah, that's it. It was just, gosh, man, this is just a whirlwind of memories, you guys. I'm trying to be cool and act like the seasoned interviewee, but this is memory lane. This is awesome.
Fine.
No, you're doing fine, Charles. That's what we're all about here. Just having a good time and just reminiscing. And I think another memory comes to your.
You know what? I hate this. Let's just start over. Can we start over, dude? I have jacked this whole thing. Let's just cut and start again. Can we do that?
We're live. We're live.
Crap.
I want more pants. Everybody else that's going to listen later on our podcast feed or on YouTube or in the archives, it won't be live. But for now, we're live.
Does that mean I should or should not have had pants on for this? Now it's a little awkward.
We can't see you. Don't worry.
Nice.
Just stay right there. You're fine.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we got another.
Levi show.
Vinny, go ahead.
I got Levi in the comments once again. He says, Charles, thank you for just being you. Only got to see you drive once, but you put on a decent show in Anaheim 2011. And apparently he sent you some photos, Phil.
Yes. Levi sent me pictures, and I told Levi my computer fried at the beginning of the podcast here. So don't worry, Levi. We're getting your questions in. Don't worry.
Levi, thank you, buddy. I'm so grateful to you and everybody out here. It's I guess man, I hope you guys are still here and not bored to death with me after an hour and a half. But
Oh, well.
I'm so thankful and grateful for everybody who messages me and remembers me and sends me the kind words you do. And I read everything. It takes me days, sometimes weeks, because I get spammed to death. But I definitely, especially when it comes to pit bull stuff, I had almost like I can't say I would let go of what it meant to me or how important that life was, because obviously things change and you evolve and move forward. But dang, what a flashback week it's been, and I loved you guys. It was so real. I'm still right here, and you know I don't know if seasons would ever evolve or things could change, but I would love to see so many people again and just be me.
No,
I'll
there's a
tell you
lot
what,
of
no one's getting tired of you, Charles. We got Mario Ortega saying 2 more hours with Charles. So,
Dude, all night, bro. Let's build a fire. What's up?
We didn't stop the fire. Don't worry.
I'll start doing push-ups, man. I get bored. Let's do it.
Hey, while you're doing push-ups, let me pull up another comment from Dave Rayner. He just says 2012 first quarter.
Dave Reiner, man. Talk about guys that I did not intend to make you stay up all night. Thank you for every time you did. Dave Reiner was a definite, passionate technician who cared about his machine and took pride in it. And I'll never forget that. I was very lucky to get the opportunity to work with Dave Reiner. I got nothing but love, buddy. You were right there with it. I felt like everything from the safety and the movement of that thing to the way you took care of it was spot on and never a distraction that took me out of trying to be crazy. I mean, passionately exude my performance. Sorry, legal. No, Dave was right there. I loved him. I hope you're having fun with your trucks, your mudding, and the Northeast. I can't wait to come up there sometime and see you, bro. Good dude. Great dude.
well, this is the second time Lane's asked this, so we might as well bring it up. And he says, has anyone told you look like the WWE wrestler Rob Van Dam?
Oh, man.
Sure, yeah.
I get the wrestler thing all the time. I get this, that. I think I look like an old guy who still tries to lift some weights. That's it. That's about it. The hair, I'm really lucky. I don't know, man. It's not mine. I'm just borrowing it from a little kid for right now, so I'm trying to take care of it. Thank you. I'm proud of that. I think Rob Van Dam, actually, he's a pretty big, like, in shape dude, right? He's not the guy with the big belly. He's like got it together, right? I don't want to be. Well, I don't even know that all that well. So if he's like some obnoxious dude, I don't. Oh yeah, that's me. Thanks.
I'm assuming I can see the resemblance. Not gonna lie.
Is it good or bad?
Well,
Good. Don't worry.
I would never hurt anybody. I love everybody. Unless you sign a contract and we agree to get paid money to hurt each other, then that's a different story.
Well,
But
no,
them days are over.
Let's see the resemblance.
Dude,
Here, move to the left a little bit. Move to the left.
For those of you on the video feed, we have who did it first, RVD or Charles Benz?
dude, you guys are nuts.
Make sure you watch that back on the video feed if you missed it.
Like to think I'm breaking on arms more these days. I'm trying. I don't have to watch the weight anymore, so I can be an obnoxious heavy dude now and just lay on people and take breaks.
Oh, man.
I'm sure Coach Nick or guys like John Dodson aren't liking that. John Dodson tried. Speaking of people who tried to kill me, John Dodson and Saint Nick from Jackson's tried to hurt us bad back in the day. Those guys work on your conditioning until you don't have any. Thankful for everybody who took a minute to go, hey, big, slow dummy, try this.
You always
You're
had a lot
really
of,
good at taking punches, Charles. Now why don't you try giving some?
I'll tell you, Charles, you always had a lot of people on the road with you. One of them is Jim Hayes, who's been on the comments here a lot tonight. Says, I remember one show in Grand Junction, Colorado, where you and I were only pit crew members.
That's true, man. Well, there's a reason for that. And Jim, you know, I think you're being nice not to say the reason, but that town Joshy, I'll call Josh Palmer out, dude. He was the craziest crew chief I ever had, especially with Pitbull, and he became more of a family member, a pet, no, family member. We lived together a lot in a small space, and I love him. And Joshy, they took to him just like they did. And I hope Dave, Joshy, all those guys that worked with me, man, every time I won, gosh, dude, this is like flashback city. I lost so many times that every time I won, the first thing I did was grab a hold of my crew guys and make sure that they got to hear it too. And I know, Dave, I called you the dog whisperer, Dave. I know you remember that if you're still on here. Joshy, you were family, bro. We did it together. That was, and I used to make everybody stop and say thanks, Joshy. And at autograph parties, everybody in the autograph line to get an autograph had to kick Josh in one of his shins. That was the best. Like it was just family. I remember all this, dude. We would get in the trailer, we'd be leaving, and he's like, dude, you got to stop that. He's got like lumps all over his shins from little kids. It was great. Gosh, it was awesome. And thank you to everybody who ever turned a wrench. There's too many people to count and number. Not all of them are even here anymore, but I'm thankful and grateful to all of them. And that is as sincere as I can put that.
I got another question from Levi Shones. Levi, I don't have your pictures, so I'm going to ask all your questions.
Oh, no. Sorry,
That's good. I'm glad. We could have been doing that dang picture thing all night. I'm sure you guys had some more. I was feeling more and more edgy the more that went on, to be honest.
And if you want to see those edgy pictures, make sure you go back to our video feed if you're listening on the podcast feed later on. Our question from Levi is, was there any place you wish you could go back and perform in, or any places you always wanted to perform in that you never got the chance to be in?
That's a pretty good question.
Absolutely, yes. Oh man, there's two that burn in my head. The one is obviously Vegas on the official list. How about any driver who's ever gotten behind the wheel of one of these things who's really serious about it? The pinnacle of the motorsport is definitely the World Finals in Vegas. And when I finally got my worthy equipment to go run at the World Finals, I thank heaven they never invited me in Pitbull. Honestly, I would have been stupid enough to go, yeah, I'll try it. And I would have been blown up in racing, and I would have wadded everything I own and had a yard sale probably on the first or second hit the way I would have had to drive out there. So I'm thankful as Pitbull they didn't invite me. Rottweiler, man, I dreamt of Thunder Alley. I dreamt of making a splash there and getting my shot at it. So that is kind of the one that got away, if you will. I got to make a Thunder Alley run once, but it was after I tore my stuff up in Indy and we hadn't found everything. And one of the things that was wrong was I had a rear steer pump problem. Say that 3 times fast. A rear steer pump problem. And it caused me to jack the turn at the far end of the track at Sam Boyd. I didn't wash out at wreck. I just didn't get a clean turn. And that's my experience with making any passes there. And I always felt like I had hoped that somebody would see my my determination to do well, to succeed, to try to win. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but to me, that's the one that always got away. Is I always wished I'd been tapped on the shoulder and go, you know what, man, you pushed that thing pretty hard. And like I said, maybe that was my undoing. I don't know. I'll never know that. It's just kind of the unknown. But I know that if I'd have gotten to run in Vegas, man, they'd still be talking about it. I promise you that. There would have been no stopping me. And like I said, maybe that's part of the problem.
Got a comment from Alexander Carrillo, and he says, you remember the show when you won wheelies but destroyed the truck at Tingley, and y'all brought a not 100% truck for freestyle for the fans?
Absolutely, man. Oh, yeah. No, I was famous for that. Racing, I got to win. Oh, wait, I wadded it up, and now we have no steering and freestyles in 20 minutes. No, man, I had, again, it goes back to those great guys that have helped me over the years, and gals. We have had more than one female turn in a wrench Gender knows nothing when you put a wrench in a hand. I don't care. We've had so many people help get it back together, and those Albuquerque shows were the one I was the most passionate about. Can I just finish with that other question? I only gave part of the answer. I feel like I'm in a debate here. Can I get my time back?
Go ahead.
The other show the big one that hurts me still is Arnhem. Arnhem, the Netherlands. Every time I was there, man, ik ben de gekke hond in Netherlands. I am your crazy dog still. and those people treated me unbelievably. I've never experienced going to anywhere else in the world and being wrapped up like we were in the Netherlands. And one year I had a transmission problem, and the next year we had another problem, and I just felt like I never got to just thrash that thing for them like they deserved. I wanted to burn it down for Arnhem. And I talk about places in the world, man. I loved Arnhem. I still love Arnhem. Everybody there who's in Arnhem who got up early today, thank you guys for getting up early. And gosh, I really wish I could have set it on fire there. I'm sorry. And we can go on with the next question. Those are the two: Vegas, the World Finals, and Arnhem with a perfect truck would have been my perfect career in my mind.
Another question from Felicia. She said, what's harder on the body, tough trucks or monster trucks?
Oh, by far, monster trucks. Oh, by far. By far. My truck, especially Pitbull. Oh my goodness, with those coilovers, you would be looking for fillings in the floor after the shows sometimes. It was crazy. I remember the first time I landed in Rottweiler, it felt like I fell into a stack of pillows. And my confidence just went off the roof. I think learning to drive in that Pitbull chassis made me a better driver for Rottweiler and a real piece of equipment. But I still would roll it over. You see it, I don't care, whatever. Pitbull, Rottweiler, let's trash something. Rental vehicle, hey, whatever. Oh, you're gonna loan me your car? Right on, I'll be right back.
Phil, do we got a comment from Lane?
Yeah, we do. Lane the jokester tonight, he was the one to ask that you look like Rob Van Dam, and his next question is, did you ever have a moment that because your truck was called Pitbull, you had to have a theme song by the artist Pitbull?
Yeah, it was weird because we both kind of came up around the same time, and I certainly respect the dude, and I can't two-step. I get bound up at the second step. I mean, that guy can dance, he can sing, he can perform, but I love all music if it's played well, but I wouldn't listen to that first. How's that for politically correctness? I like any music played well, but that's just not my first choice. As these fire and explosions behind me go off, that's probably where you'll find me, is right down in the middle of that huge circle right there in front of that stage is where you can still find me today.
You know, we know you for your single truck with Pitbull, but there was a period of time where you had the Pitbull ride truck going on. Where'd that ride truck come from, and what was that like balancing race truck and ride truck?
Oh man, the ride truck was it was so cool. Like I had a very cool guy here in the Southwest who had gotten a hold of the ride truck. I wish I had known this was coming. I would have talked to him a little bit, but Big A knows who he is. Here, I'll get real with him. Tigger knows who he is. And Tigger helped that ride truck thing happen because he knew what we were going to do with it. And some of the best times in my life were taking the kids from the hospitals in it. The veterans and their families are doing events with the ride truck. It's a way to, obviously, anybody who's got a ride truck gets it. It's a way for the fans to live the experience. And we did the twin bodies, and we would park them together, and it was awesome. And we had a lot of great times with it. The ride truck was amazing, and more importantly, a ride truck is different from we used to joke about this. There's only two guys, and I know you guys have done a lot of shows. Let me ask you this, and this is my turn to turn the interview back. Uh-oh. There are two people at a monster truck show who make money. Who are they?
Driver and the promoter.
Wait, what driver though? Which driver?
The ride truck driver.
Yeah.
There we go. You guys are legit. You passed the smell test. You've clearly been around it. Those are the only two people in the building with any money at the end of the night. But the thing about the ride truck is, yes, it generated money. And that ride truck generated thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for kids in the hospital. It was magic. And those guys that go by in those pictures, they're the ones who helped build it. It wasn't ready. It wasn't worthy when we got it. Those guys made it worthy. They put in four-wheel steering. They put in the safety cages and the belts and everything overdone. And I just love the word safety. And I know you go from like, well, Pitbull the maniac, but yeah, but in a controlled environment. I'll get crazy. I'll just keep it in this area so everybody else is safe and they can watch the crazy without being hurt.
So I got to wonder, what advice would you give to any modern day drivers coming up in the industry currently?
The same advice that the drivers that I talked with gave me. Don't do it. I remember one of the first things somebody told me is the quickest way to end up with $1 million in this business is to start with 2. It's an expensive, heartbreaking sport that will turn its back on you at your lowest moments and leave you hurting. And it takes the strongest of characters to operate as an independent team. Even as a silver spoon-fed, brought-in company driver who got taught this is a power switch, it still takes fortitude to do this. But in my opinion, and my opinion in a buck will get you a soda pop some places. In my opinion, the drivers that have had to finance their own operations, that have had to drive all night on the road in a semi, that have had to spend $2,000 a shot in diesel fuel, that have had to pay people that don't care if you win, lose, roll it over, or Johnny Bravo, they don't care. They just want their paycheck. They've been working on it all week. The drivers who support those type of operations are the ones that have my highest level of respect in this. And those are the ones I would ask, hey, how's it treated you? Can you get rich doing this? Do you recommend it? Would you do this? And it comes down to this for me. Would you do this for any other reason other than you love it? Or you're addicted to it? Hey, there's that too. It's hard because I'm, like I said, I'm not judgmental of anybody with addictions. In fact, I certainly know what it's like because there's one on TV behind me. If I do this, then we can lighten it. If we change to these heads, then we'll get out of the hole faster. And if we go to these shocks, I can get bigger landing. It just never ends. And it's an addiction. I was hooked. It's hard to walk away, guys.
I ask this question every episode, and I gotta wonder, what advice do you have for any fans or just anyone in general wanting to get into the monster truck industry, how they can get their foot in the door?
Become informed. Don't just jump in and shake hands with the first guy who'll talk to you at a show. Learn who people are. There's 95% great people out here, but and that's probably true in anything. This is not just monster truck advice. This is life. Become informed. Learn who the class acts are. Learn who the ways they. I always in anything I do, I want to know who's doing it the best, and I want to watch that person. And I call it picking up nuggets because I never want to copy anybody or be them. But if I can pick up nuggets of expertise from people, I've never got this. I'm always a work in progress learning. And that's what I would recommend doing. And once you get enough nuggets to make an informed decision, and again, 95% of these people will tell you, hey, watch that person. They're kind of flaky. Or, oh, yeah, great person, great source of advice. Become informed, then get involved, and be ready to work hard and sacrifice because you're not going to get rich. You're probably going to get beat up. You're going to get burned. You're going to smash your fingers. You're going to knock out your fillings. It's not as glamorous as people would make it sound, but it's willing to work 23 hours and 59 minutes for one really good minute. That's how I would describe it. But become informed, know who you're going to work with, have all your expectations on the table up front. Promises don't work. It needs to be texted or in writing what everybody's supposed to do and how. Just be honest and be informed.
It's a
That's a
great
lot.
answer.
That's a lot of advice. Sorry.
It's good advice, though, so it's warranted.
Oh, again, is this recorded? Because I could follow some of my own pointers. Everybody out there who told me don't, I can hear my phone buzzing right now. It's all told you, dummy. Look at you now, old man.
You can
Hey, you're
rewatch
proving
it all
wrong.
you want.
You're proving them wrong still. Don't worry.
I think that was a great answer.
Hey, Charles, as we slowly transition here, this question's been asked a lot in the comments tonight, and I want to bring it up now. When was your last event competing in the monster truck?
I'll never forget it. It's like it was such a harsh place to leave off for me. It was right when my daughter was born, and I was coming to the realization that I need to be dad, not chasing dreams and giving away money. And man, the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York, huge show, TV. Half the roster says Anderson at the end of it. The other half says Mentz and like Lindsay. I mean, it's a stacked deck. And I'm watching these guys go, and everybody's struggling to get this slap wheelie. Everybody's struggling with it. And my truck was just set up, man. It was a wheelie beast. And I was like, watch, everybody kept trying, spinning out, they kept blowing it. And I was all, just let it get my turn. Just let it get my turn. Just let it get my turn. And everybody knows me. You know what mental state I'm in inside that cab by now. I'm already ripping on my seat belts, beating against the side of my seat. Anything I can do to get myself pumped. And finally the green light comes on, and I go out and I roar across, skid to a stop in the midfield, turn on the tongue, and I got to do all these things on my list, right? Now I can go. I go around and I hit that hill, and I just stood it on the tail bar and drug it all the way across the floor to where they had cut the ramp. And it just kicked me right over. So effortless and uneventful and unwow moment ever. And with my daughter and everything else, that ended up being the last time I ever drove. For real. I mean, like, moving it around is one thing, but let's suck ourselves down in the seat till I can't feel my legs and start beating myself in the head. That's a big difference. And that was the last one of those. And I Syracuse, I'm sorry. I was burning up inside that truck, ready to do it. And to drop it over after that perfect wheelie just shattered me inside. Oh, look, there's our mayor right there. Mayor Marty. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, so how long did you have the Pitbull truck before if you finally sold it?
It was, we got rid of a wadded wreck. I don't know what they did with it. I really don't. It was tore up bad. Crash Torres wadded it. No, it was a mess. It was a mess for me and years of me being me. It was done. Almost 10 years. I did this for 9 years. We gave away all the money and did everything for 9 years, man. And it was about basically a decade of this life, whether it was the stadium truck, whether it was Pitt, whether it was Rott. It was just about a decade of this life. And at the levels I was doing it at, man, what a gift from God. Thank you, Lord. I thank you, God. Thank you, everybody who believed in me, the fans, the people who trusted me with my equipment. I'm very thankful and humbled by it all. Those people got to me. Those fans really, like I said, it was such an intimate, personal connection. It wasn't some whisk through line where here comes the person to run you off. Oh man, I'll never forget this. I hope Big Mike from security in Albuquerque's watching, and I love you, brother. But I know that I made you mad more than once. And there was a girl in my autograph line, and she was talking to me, and she'd been a patient at the hospital. And we're talking, and one of his guys comes over, and he's like tapping this little kid on the shoulder, saying, "Come on, honey, it's time for you to move along." And he reaches down and touches her prosthetic arm to kind of pull her through the line. I was all, hey! I was all, I believe you need to take a chill, sir. I think we're going to be safe in here. And it almost turned into a small, he was almost carried away, just put it that way. And it was fun. They pretty much knew at that point, just let me do my thing with the crowd here. We did it. Like I said, man, we all got to know each other. We knew how it worked. I wasn't going to hurt nobody. And I just, and I get it. And I understand their side of it. And I can hear everybody that I've apologized to from Monster Jam. I can hear you guys too. Hey, Charles, this ain't all about you. And I get it. And to me, it wasn't. It was about me and those people I was talking to. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So our friend Lane Larkin now has a serious question, and I think it translates very well. He says, do you like the direction that monster trucks are heading? If not, or iffy, what would you change?
Man, not being out there doing it and living it, who am I to sit here in the quarterback's chair on Monday morning? The business model, obviously, there's evolution that has to happen there. You've got all the changes of the industry. I, as a guy who's put on shows, realize what a nightmare it is to just get vehicles to crush. To get transportation of those vehicles can be a logistic nightmare. And then, hey, let's time it out right with a venue. It's unbelievable the scale that they do it at. And if they have to change their business model or the things to make their business work, they're the ones that have done it the best. I'm not going to sit here and what I do, I hate people who do that. You know what I do? Or my other favorite, I told you so. Oh, those two are just my favorites. I told you. I think they're doing a great job. I think I love watching a lot of the people that have come up doing it, especially the ones that have been around a while. Man, the Andersons have it in their blood, dude. Ryan was supposed to be my first teammate when I got to work with the company. And unfortunately, he had a dirt bike thing that year that held him up a little bit. Otherwise, he would have been my first teammate. And I've been told, they were like, man, yeah, we were worried about that whole thing, putting the two of you together. And I was like, I'm going to take that as a compliment. Yeah, I'll take that. I think we'd have had a good time. I always had great times with him, his brother. His dad's a legend. I mean, what can you say? You could have done it different. No, I don't see. I think you kicked rear end the whole way. Yeah.
This one's going to be a two-part question. So the first part is, have you ever thought about getting back in a monster truck? And the second part is, what would it take for you to get back in a monster truck?
Oh, man, it would take somebody hitting me in the head really hard with a lot of money. How's that? No, I don't know, man. Now that my daughter has grown up some, I've thought about it from time to time a little more. I've got just a great community I love here, and I've got roots down, and I've always talked about Albuquerque and how much I love it here. It would be very difficult to leave, but other people asking me, along with some of the stuff we talked about when we talked about this, provoked some serious thought. And for me, I would love the opportunity to have a real world-class sponsor who gets me. And wouldn't every driver like that? If only they understood. But for me, it would be a nonprofit organization. I wouldn't want anything for myself. I would want to operate it as exclusively as a nonprofit that raises money for kids in hospitals and U.S. veteran soldier programs and things of that nature, like the at-risk juvenile things that I would approve of, but it would be done as a way to help children, to help veterans, and to just, I would want kids to learn to respect the community, their society, and live the right way. And those of you who know me know what I mean by that too. And you could be the craziest, toughest guy there, but you can only do that because the Lord lets you do that. And I'm humbled to say that, and I'm thankful to him for giving me the blessings and the gifts he continues to give me every day. I thank God. And that's what I would teach kids. That's what I would want to do. And I would love to go around and get to do, again, live that life and everything tie into it. I can take a top level piece of equipment out there. I can have fun. And when I'm having fun, remember, we're making money. We're giving it away. So I'm taking a sponsor with me to go back my fun project. And at the end of the day, we take all the money and awareness we can make for this cause. And that sponsor comes with me while we donate money. And we raise money for kids in hospitals, veterans, and again, things that the board would approve. And I'd run it as a real 501c and with all the brilliant legal minds and every lesson I've learned out there the hard way in place this time, rather than when I stood in front of my whole city and said, heck, I'm gonna give away everything I make to this hospital. Dummy. I would do it as a real properly run business. And I have 2 killer trucks that I know would do very well. Pitbull being the first, of course.
Of course.
Can I get a water? Thanks.
Hey, Charles, you've conquered the world there and back in various trucks, your truck, Rottweiler, anything in between. Accomplished a lot. You said you were in the business only 9 years, but you really have accomplished a lot, and definitely is a testament to that with the amount of people still tuned in live at this hour. And I know you're not done in the business. I just know you're not. You can't be, and especially with all the memories and stories you had here tonight. I know this won't be the last time we're talking with you, but when it's all said and done, what do you want your legacy to be?
Like the truck legacy, or who was Charles Benz at Big Dummy?
Yes, the dummy Charles Benz. I won't call you a dummy, but I mean, what do you want your personal legacy to be?
Like, it's really weird. Like, if we're talking about like a funeral and people are sitting around, hopefully those people have a cold one in their hand and nobody's sitting around crying, and people are talking about how I spent a whole lifetime learning, evolving, and becoming a better servant of the Lord, a smarter man, a better dad, a better businessman, a better partner, and a better human being who genuinely cares about others and can pick the right people through discernment that are worthy to put above myself. And I really want to be known for that. And yeah, passionate, exuding nut, whatever you want to call it. You know, I know legal is like, but I am passionate. And if people want to confuse just intense, wild passion and enthusiasm for being crazy, hey, shame on me, I guess. But those of you who really took 2 minutes to talk to me, it only takes 1 minute to get to know me. And that's legit. I would hope everybody would think that way. I'm not me unless it's through him, and I can't be for others unless it's done right. And I'm always learning how to do it better. I don't got this by any means.
Well, Charles, there's a credible amount of people in the comments here tonight. We didn't bring up a lot of their comments, but just a lot of thank yous and a lot of personal testimonials, how you've touched them in their lives, just doing what you do. And I can tell you, if I had to give my opinion, which I'm going to do now, is your humanitarian work. You know, there's a reason why Monster Jam made you a multi-time humanitarian of the year. And it was the way you gave back. And always, you know, you were the wild and crazy guy. We had a lot of fun putting that video together, but we know deep down it was always about giving back and leaving your mark for people many years to come. They might not remember the performance you did on the track or maybe even the splits with the crazy hair, but they'll remember that personal touch that you had with them at the pit party or in the hospital or anywhere in between. And I could say from a personal standpoint, I'm one of them. And if Vinny has a picture, pull it up. My first World Finals, you were one of the first drivers I ever met. That's a picture of me and you from 2008, World Finals.
Dude,
9.
I remember talking to you about Eli, my buddy. A very good friend of mine is a big blue fan.
Yeah.
I remember speaking with you, bro. I'm humbled by that.
And you know, I'll tell you, Charles, it's interactions like that kept me going to be involved in the business. And
I was such a young age, and to talk about 12 years ago, just a kid with some yearbooks to get autographed. My freshman year of high school, my English class, there was some sort of project, and I wish I remember the specific of the project, but it boiled down to make a poster or write like a synopsis on someone that you look up and inspire to. And for me, I wrote it on Charles Benz, just based off of that brief interaction and knowing the amount of charitable work that you do and the way you give back. For a guy like me at that point, a freshman in high school, wanting to get involved, that you were the measuring stick. And when I did get more involved, and eventually, I worked for Monster Jam and be on the podcast interviewing so many people, I still try to live by that. And so that's why when I reached out to you to be on the podcast, that was me. It was an honor for me for you to answer back and for you to take your time. And this is my way of kind of giving back to you, because you've given to me.
I'm humbled.
So many
I don't even know
people
what
over
to
the
say.
years.
I'm beyond privileged to have friends like you guys and all these people that I don't even know what to say, dude. You got me like tore up kind of. This has been a wild ride. I don't feel like a big nut right now. I feel like a big idiot. Just I'm not worthy. I'm thankful, and I hope that someday you're able to do that for somebody else, and just I think if everybody just thought like that, let's just show some people the right way to do things, or be a better person, or just stop and pump the brakes a minute and talk to somebody and just take a moment. Who knows the impacts that it could lead to, bro? It's so crazy. And most people don't see that far ahead. And it feels to me like one of those moments, like when the girl pulled her wig back, to hear you say that, man. It's an honor. Thank you, bro. I just view myself as a crazy kid from Albuquerque. I don't know. Thank you.
Well, you've made an impact in life. You made an impact in the monster truck business, and you've made an impact here on our podcast. If anyone would agree,
I'd agree. And to answer the legacy question, Charles, if I could sum up it in one word, I'd say you're giving. Giving is a good word to describe what you've done in your career, and I think, Phil, you'd agree with that.
Absolutely.
Gosh, thank you guys both, man. I'm just beyond humbled. I was happy to talk about Tony and Rec and stuff, and just this has been a big night for me, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to have me on, and I'm sure grateful to everybody out there who tuned in to listen to me just rant for a little bit. And I miss every dang one of you so much, and some a lot more than others, man. I know it'll never be the same, but I know, and I do agree with you, Phil. I think there's still some memories out there to be made. And I just, once, I'm not in charge. We don't make the plans, he does. And hopefully those plans work out to where we can do this again and talk about some total craziness. I wouldn't object to that in any way, sir.
Absolutely. And before you sign off here tonight, make sure you go back and read some of these comments on our live video. There's a lot of great comments we just didn't get to, a lot of great testimonials. And make sure you stay on the line here after we sign off on Facebook, and we'll wrap it up with you behind the curtain. So.
Dude, you guys rock, and your podcast is cool, and I'm honored to be here at the very beginning. I see this thing taking off and being huge, and you'd be like, remember when we had to call idiots like Charles Benz back at the beginning? No, you guys are going to do great.
When you said that, our views just jumped up. So I don't know. Keep
talking, Charles.
Dude, next time we'll do it right. I'll get like 6 live stream cameras, and I'll have a friend rent a vehicle.
Oh boy.
Well,
we'll find a closed course.
Oh my. Well, you never know what can happen here on the podcast, especially when Charles Benz is our guest and our friend. Charles, it's been a pleasure having you on board with us here on the Monster Truck Outlaws of the West podcast. I know we'll definitely be talking to you again here. And Pitbull Racing, there it is, T-shirt up. He barks.
I haven't pulled one of these out in years. It really felt crazy. Thank you both so much. I hope everybody's doing great. God bless you all.
Thank you, Charles. I tell you, like I just ended the show there. Not much else to say. This is personally for me an honor to have Charles on board and to have this long podcast. We've gone over 2 hours here and still seeing the view count as we're ending our live podcast here. This is going to be one of the all-time episodes.
And I have to say, I'm that young guy on our podcast, and I'm going to be saying this a lot. Growing up, I'm that kid on this, watching Speed Channel, watching YouTube, and I always saw someone I looked up to was Charles, and just the things he did in the industry. Almost every award ceremony, you'd see him get a humanitarian award. Just the things he did. You see videos of him and Tony Farrell, at hospitals and stuff, and that shows you what the industry is all about, and that's the fans and giving back to the community. And I think Charles was a perfect example of that type of person.
The industry needs more Charles Benz.
I 100% agree.
Yes.
100% agree.
So that's that. It's another podcast. Let me take a sidebar here before I do my ending wrap-up spiel. There's a lot of technical nightmares here before we went live tonight. A lot of button heads here. But let me just say, Vinny, we're the odd couple. And somehow, some way, every week we keep doing a podcast, whether we screaming at each other and computers are frying and people are sick. We're still doing this. We're still here, and we're not stopping.
Yeah, we roughed it tonight, that's for sure, but we pulled through. And I had a great time tonight at the podcast. Lots you don't understand. Lots of work goes behind the scenes. It's just craziness people don't see, but. Man, we're going to push through and we're going to keep on rocking on the podcast. We're not slowing down anytime soon.
We're not slowing down.
Not slowing down. We're done pumping the brakes.
Yeah, we're not pumping it, but I'll tell you, make sure you guys stay tuned. I know we had a lot of people in here tonight. Make sure you like and follow our Facebook page. Stay up to date with what we're doing each and every week. Make sure to stay tuned next week to our Facebook page where we will be the Fiberglass and Flowers podcast. Thanks, Alan. But no, make sure you stay tuned to our Facebook page. Beginning of next week, we're going to be announcing our next guest. Going to confirm with our next guest. But if all goes well, we're going to be kicking it back old school next week. And when I mean old school, one of those early, original top guys. So always stay tuned. You never know who's going to come on here next. So make sure you're following us on our Facebook page and catching all of our past episodes, whether it's on our Facebook page. Make sure you go to that video tab, live podcast episodes.
We're on iHeartRadio now, aren't we?
We're on iHeartRadio. That podcast feed is rocking and rolling. iHeartRadio is now carrying Monster Truck Outlaws of the West, as well as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. Anywhere that broadcasts sound, we're pretty much there at this point. So make sure you're supporting us, giving us 5 stars, following us on all those platforms wherever you hear podcasts. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to go back to some of those past episodes.
Everywhere. Instagram. Don't forget about that, Phil.
Our Instagram at MT Outlaws Podcast. We're still posting some content over there. Great way to stay informed, but make sure you're following us everywhere. And do I dare to say, this is the #1 Monster Truck Podcast. Whether the numbers or the fans say yes or no, it's #1 in our hearts, and we're not slowing down one bit. We're going to be rocking and rolling. Next week's a new episode, and we hope to see you there.
As Colt Stevens said, put your ones up.